Time Pilot kind of reminded me. It wasn't like Gyrus at all, but it's just it the one. Okay, so I just want to make sure that I was doing the right controls here. I'm not terrible at this game. I mean, I get usually at least get to 1970, the 1970s, the helicopters. And I'm just playing here. There's strategies for all these games and people that, this, that, and the other thing. And I was never like a Twin Galaxies person. I never had the hand-eye coordination for it. I really didn't. That's why I was never really good at like instruments or really very good at sports or anything like that. I just from my brain to my hands, and some people would argue it wasn't in the brain to begin with, so what am I complaining? Right? Yeah. I mean, Cornell. So anyway, and I think by the time this came out, it was really weird. There were the original games, like Joust and Galaga and Robotron and Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. That there was something very, very, very a little bit different about the graphics. Whereas these were a little bit more cartoony. Like there was more attention paid to the graphics, and not that that's a bad thing, but it's just they just don't. There's something different about the way that they play. What gamers today would call the mechanics, maybe, I guess, is what they mean by it. It's not just this stick does this and that button does that. It's the feel of the game. It's sort of the reaction to stuff, and the games just. These games felt like they just had a little bit more give to them. They were a little bit more forgiving, in terms of like fucking Defender, Missile Command. They just fucking ate your lunch. They fucking ate your lunch, and they'd piss you off, and you would sit there and you would pump a whole week's worth of allowance in a Friday night. You would just absolutely very, very quickly sometimes. You get so pissed off at a game. And those games were brutal games. But they were just fun as shit. And if you wanted to play, unless you wanted to play for longer than 5 minutes, I think Adam Bushnell, is it? The guy, the Atari guru, when they were coming up with the business model, it was something like there was some kind of like for 25 cents, be able to play for 2 minutes, 2 minutes entertainment for 25 cents kind of thing. That you would think, oh well, the machine just takes quarters and it just takes money. So how about, well, it's plugged in and it and it costs money and it's got to recoup and all that other business stuff that you wouldn't. Man, Atari. That's a real story of art versus commerce. It really is. But anyway, but speaking of Atari, like those vector games like Tempest and Battlezone, they just even shit ones like Red Baron. Fuck. They just had a real rawness to how they played. All right, so down at the bottom is my thing telling me, hey, dick shit, when you're done running your fucking mouth, you have a mothership to kill, which I just did, and now I should be in 1980s. Oh, okay. Oh, God, I'm actually not doing too bad. I'm talking, yeah. Don't tell my wife that I should talk more. I perform better if I talk more. She'll laugh you right out of the room. And anything. All right. It's so funny. I'm so used to playing the games that I usually play, or not the bang on the buttons games like this one is, which it really isn't. If I do this, I'm actually shooting just as much because this is a burst shooter, or I don't know if that's just some name I made up for it on the spot, but where when you hit, you get like 3 or 4 shots, so you only have to be shooting all the time. You only have to do this. But this is not nearly as cool as sitting here working up a sweat going like this and fucking yourself up at right near the end of the mothership kind of thing. So there's some lesson in there that has something to do with being a sexual idiot and thumping your chest when you should be tapping your temple and using that muscle a little bit more.